Well, everybody, welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday, January 21st. And yes, I'm still here. Bree's on vacation, but we're going to get a little preview of her in a minute. I'll tell you about that in just a second. And welcome to the program. I'm Michael Taylor, and it is a Wednesday, and I'm here. Usually I'm here on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but you know, when people are on vacation, I'm kind of sticking around, so I'm enjoying it. Lots of things to do around here, lots of people to talk to. I'm getting to know all the new guests that I don't get to interview all the time. And on today's show, we got some of those for you right now. Bree's actually going to be talking to the folks from Memorial Care, recording she did a little while ago from the folks from the Wound Center. So she's going to talk about what they do there. And then I'll be talking to the folks from the Village String Band. We're going to be welcoming Sharon Rosen and Michael Pornacorvo. They're going to be in here talking about an upcoming show they have now, and then some specialty breakout shows they have coming up a little later this year. So we'll talk about that and more. Right now, though, we want to keep you informed, and it's an important one, folks. With Third Town Hall has changed their venue. If you're planning on going to the town hall, they are welcoming you to the town hall. It's going to be Wednesday, the 28th. From 3 to 4:30 p.m. It's going to be at the Performing Arts Center now. The focus will be on the new high-speed internet Ting and DirecTV services that are going to be going on. So that's going to be a popular one. That might be why they changed their venue over to the PAC, because they're going to have a lot of folks showing up for that. Representatives from Ting and broadband team will explain how the installation process works, the projected timeline for third buildings and the neighborhoods around, and steps required inside each manor that you have to be part of when this installation is going to be completed. So make sure you get out there and ask the questions, get the information at the next town hall for Third. Let's check our weather forecast, and we've got some cloudy skies out there. It's going to be cloudy for most of today. 65 is going to be our high today. We have a little chance of showers tomorrow, and we have a small chance of showers on Friday as well, with our temperatures in the mid-60s. And then the chance kind of clears out on Saturday. We're going to have mostly sunny skies for Saturday and Sunday, and temperatures bumping up close to 70 on Saturday and hitting 70 on Sunday. There you go. Let's take a look at a sunrise, sunset. We've got a beautiful shot from across the water there. It is the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C., and that picture was taken by Dennis Harper. Thank you very much, Dennis, for sending this one on your trip to D.C. 6:53 was sunrise this morning, though you probably didn't see it with clouds, and you might not see the sunset tonight, but that's going to be at 5:11 p.m. If you'd like to send us a picture, we'd love to see it. You can do so by emailing us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we'll use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, we got some meetings to tell you about. Then when we come back, Bree will be doing her interview with Saddleback Memorial Care Wound Center. Stay with us.
Caring Senior Service provides a variety of care services to help seniors age in place. We follow the mantra, when family can't be there, we can. We started our business almost 30 years ago because we realized that seniors in these situations still need loving care. To learn more about how we can help your family, contact us today.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. From Memorial Care Saddleback Medical Center, we welcome Dr. Bill Corey, Medical Director for Wound Care Center, along with Operations Manager for the Wound Center, Amelia Adams. Hello, you two.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
This is not a topic that we get to talk about on a daily basis, and it's really interesting to me. And I know that our viewers will find it interesting as well, because we're going to talk about hyperbaric chambers. So let's just launch with, what is a hyperbaric chamber? Amelia?
Yeah, it's a chamber they're called monoplace chambers. So it's one person at a time and in a gurney. So they go into this chamber and they go about 2 atmospheric changes in level. So it's basically like flying in a plane or sea diving about 30 feet. So you're in there for about an hour and a half, and then you slowly come up, and it provides 100% oxygen to your body, which feeds the wound, and it helps it heal. It also helps with fibrotic tissue or scar tissue to kind of soften that, So it aids in healing in a couple different ways.
Interesting. So what types of wounds or conditions are you treating in your center?
Yeah, so there's quite a few different types of wounds that we treat. I would say the top couple that come to mind would be traumatic injuries, especially for our geriatric patient population. So we'll see a lot of people that have had injuries. The top couple that come to mind would be the edge of a car door or the edge of a dishwasher that somebody runs into, and it forms a really bad, sometimes laceration or hematoma where there's bleeding in the tissue. Sometimes it turns into an infection.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of our patients are actually on blood thinners, and so that exacerbates this problem. So there's bleeding and more injury to the area from the blood loss too. And then also we'll treat patients with vascular disease in general. I would say that's another very common one. So both PAD or peripheral arterial disease, where their arteries that supply blood to the legs is compromised through atherosclerosis, frequently in diabetics or smokers, I would say as well. And then a very common one, in fact, probably number one would be venous disease, or people that have venous insufficiency is another word for it, where these one-way valves in the veins are not really closing properly, and it puts more pressure on the veins in the legs. So the venous system takes deoxygenated blood from the legs back to the heart, and so if those valves are not really closing, keeping that blood moving towards the heart, it tends to pool in the legs. It can cause more pressure or hypertension of the veins in the legs, and then leakage of fluid into the tissue. And that's actually the most common reason why people have swelling in their legs in general, is from venous disease. They could have varicose veins, they may not, but frequently it'll be varicose veins or spider veins, all kind of related to that. And then for us, we see them frequently for wounds. So they'll develop either spontaneously a wound that forms, or it could have been incited by a traumatic injury. So they may have had some type of injury, trauma, maybe infection, and the wound now is not healing. And so they come to us for care typically at that point.
Interesting. How many times does it take somebody to go into these chambers before they start seeing positive results?
So usually it doesn't happen immediately. So depends on the condition, but for some patients it may take several weeks to up to a month. So it's quite a prolonged treatment course. I would say most patients get between 20 to 60 treatments. And so for most conditions, just to help the body heal itself, which is kind of the mechanism, it takes usually at least, I would say, 2, 3, or sometimes even 4 weeks for them to really see noticeable effects.
So that's quite a while. And would you think that the body could heal itself in the same amount of time?
So I would say for certain conditions, they could heal, but for many they don't. In fact, that's usually when they come to us, is when they've tried other things and they've gone through multiple other different types of therapies and it really hasn't worked. And really they're coming us to get more definitive care for something that's evidence-based. A lot of times it would be for conditions where even the specialists have gone through multiple different treatment options and they've maximized that and it's still not working. So at that point, you were kind of grasping at straws, trying to figure out what can be done. So I guess the answer would be definitely for certain wounds and for certain conditions, not only wounds, there really isn't another option. This is really the best option for complete healing.
How did they determine that this type of therapy was going to be effective?
So it depends on the condition. So it's really the evidence-based ones, it comes down to studies that have been done over time. It goes back over 100 years.
Does it really?
Yeah. It started off for things like the bends, for conditions where there are dive injuries and people would develop, problems with the bends or decompression sickness. And then from there, for other conditions, they started doing research on, and that's more recent, but still goes back decades. And so it depends on the condition, but studies have shown for particular conditions, and it's kind of governed by the Undersea Hyperbaric Medical Society, UHMS, and they have come together with a list, it's actually 14 long, of conditions that really have adequate science to justify hyperbaric treatment. It's being done for many other things through wellness centers too. It doesn't really have the science backing, for a lot of the other things.
Can the patient actually feel any type of sensation when they're going through this treatment?
Basically, they could feel the pressure changes, usually in the ears. So we want to make sure that they're able to clear your ears. So just like when you're flying in a plane,
Right.
you should, open your mouth to feel that popping.
Right.
We'll encourage them to do that within the chamber. If there's any discomfort or pain, then we would stop the movement down. And sometimes they might have to get tubes, the pressure tubes, equalization tubes, to tolerate the therapy.
So Amelia, walk us through the process. So somebody's coming in, you mentioned gurney, do they just lie down on the bed and you put this capsule over them? I'm trying to envision this process here.
Yeah.
So when they come in, we extensively teach them that they can't have any hairspray, nail polish. They can't have anything on them because when you're going in there, it's 100% oxygen. There is a risk for fire, potentially. So we are very, very safe in who we put in there, and we make sure none of this stuff goes in. Your clothes can't go in. It needs to be cotton, no polyesters. So we provide them with the gowns that's appropriate to go in, the sheets, the pillowcases, everything is safe. And then you actually go on the gurney, and then the door opens from the front, and they're pushed in. Now, when you see it, it looks kind of small. The glass chamber looks kind of small. But when you're in there, it feels very open because you're seeing out. And then you have a television there, and you have a telephone, which the hyperbaric chamber technician can speak to them through. So it's kind of...
Okay, so they don't feel completely isolated.
Right.
Right, and they've got some form of entertainment to
Absolutely.
keep them occupied.
Yes, and for the first travel, the hyperbaric technician usually stays there alongside them to make sure there's no discomfort.
Yeah, there's always a tech in the room.
Yes.
Like I say, so basically there's always somebody there, there's a speaker system, and it's a clear plexiglass chamber, so somebody inside, not to say we never have somebody that still can be claustrophobic,
Right.
but I'd say the majority do pretty well, with treatment, mainly because I think it's clear. They do have distractions there. The TV above is quite nice. I'll watch DVDs or something like that.
Because an hour and a half is a long time.
It is, yeah, very long. And also the number of treatments too. So if somebody really has to commit to treatment, so we're talking about anywhere between 1 month to 3 months, of care, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, to be effective. So we're talking about them spending a lot. We get to know these patients quite well
would
when they come
imagine.
in. So yeah.
Yes.
But you know what I do find is that some people like it as a timeout.
Yeah.
So once they're in the chamber
Absolutely.
and your distractions are gone, they get to take a nap.
Yep.
Right,
And they're
right.
like, you know what, I'm going to miss my moment of peace, my couple hours of peace.
Right. Or watching movies.
Yeah.
How do they feel immediately coming out of that environment?
So I haven't noticed anything per se that's, some people talk about maybe rejuvenation,
Right.
or you feel, we've had a few patients that do feel different, but absolutely generally not the case. I mean, most of the patients, they feel, pretty much the same as when they went in. We're definitely monitoring different things. We're checking their vital signs before and after, and their blood sugar and whatnot. But as far as like physical effects immediate afterwards, it seems like maybe you would have some type of rejuvenation from the
Right,
oxygen.
it seems like it.
But haven't really noticed anything where patients feel that much, different afterwards than prior to the treatment.
So if a patient would like to come see you, what's the best method to do that?
Absolutely, yeah. Just give us a call, 949-452-3309. Amber's our front desk. She'll help you out. You could self-refer if you're Medicare or PPO. If you have HMO or some Medicare Advantage plans, you might have to get a referral from your primary care physician first.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you for that broad spectrum of information. Now I have an understanding of what the hyperbaric chamber can do.
That's great.
Thank you for joining
Thank you
me
so much. I
today.
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you so much.
Dr. Corey
I
and
appreciate it.
Amelia. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.
Small gestures of compassion, little leaps of ingenuity, brief moments of bravery. This is memorial care, where being the difference makes the difference.
And from the Village String Band, I want to welcome Sharon Rosen and Michael Porticovo to the program. Thank you guys for joining us, as always.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about the Village String Band. We got a show coming up. We got all sorts of things we want to talk about. But the Village String Band is, the guys meet regularly, but you're also an emeritus class?
It's an emeritus class that's also a club.
Okay.
So the emeritus class meets during school session, Thursday mornings at 10 in the PAC in the rehearsal room. And the rest of the time as a club, the club is who sponsors concerts that we do. So the entire string band does a concert twice a year. And then in between, we do little coffee houses and happy hours and things like that. So what we're here today is to talk about an upcoming happy hour.
Yes, indeed. We'll talk about that. Now, is there structure inside the class? Do you guys have, there an instructor in there? And they say, okay, here's what we're going to do. And we're going to try to, does it help kind of like having somebody run the club, keep all you guys on point?
Well, we do have an instructor. He does come from Saddleback. And
Sort of like the ringmaster.
Yeah, that's
Whip
right.
in a chair?
Herding cats.
Yeah, herding cats.
Herding cats.
Yeah.
The individuals who are part of the club are the ones who bring the music to the club. If there's submissions, we try out the song, we'll see if it's appropriate, see if everybody likes it. If so, then we practice it up and it becomes part of the repertoire for the concert that we perform twice a year.
There you go. And one of those, we got an event coming up here. You guys, happy hour with Feisty Women and Salt Creek Bluegrass Bands. Tell us about that show.
Oh, special show.
It is. Okay.
Special show.
It's
First
special.
time.
The Feisties did a show last, I don't know, it was June or July, in the middle of a thunderstorm, but to a packed house.
We were in Clubhouse 2. They ran out of chairs. So many people showed up, and we were hoping that maybe 50 people would come, and it was over 200 people were there.
Getting out of the storm, come and see a show.
Yes. And it was very well received. And both bands have played other venues separately. 3 of us are in both bands.
Okay.
And the Feisty Women, all women. Three of we women are also in Salt Creek.
Okay.
So
you're doing double duty on that day. So it's going to be Thursday, January 29th, over at Clubhouse 7, 4:30, $5 admission at the door.
includes 1 glass of wine, cheese, and some other nibbles. And
That's a pretty good deal.
I know.
What can we expect, Michael?
Thursday, 29th, January 29th. Be there.
Doors open at 4.
Okay. And what do you have lined up? Is there a theme to the show? Is it just kind of like your usual repertoire, or?
I'd say usual repertoire. What I say about the Feisty Women, because people say, well, what kind of music do you do? I say, well, I would describe us as a folkish group, except we don't actually do any folk music.
Okay.
Basically, we sing whatever the hell we want. With really great harmony.
And say whatever the hell you want, apparently, too.
With really great harmony.
So what's it like working in tandem with these guys and kind of like putting a show together?
Oh, a lot of fun. A lot of rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Working in tandem. This is actually the first time the 2 bands have played the same venue at the same time.
Yeah, so you guys have to figure out like who's going what songs you guys are doing. Oh, we wanted to do that one. You kind of trade it off, or you guys have your own.
Believe it or not, we really have separate repertoire.
Okay.
There's only a couple of songs that both groups do.
Okay.
A couple of those, the same singer sings them in both bands, so it doesn't matter. We have a couple of other songs that one person sings it in this band, and then another person sings it in this band. And we're doing one of them, but with this band, not with that band.
When you guys decide to bring a new song into the act or whatever you call it, where does it usually come from? Like suggestions from the audience, or does it come from people? Hey, we should try to do this one. We've been getting a lot of requests for this such song.
So now you're talking
popular kind of string kind of.
Now you're talking about the string band.
Yes, now we're talking about the string band.
Because on the individual basis, the Feisties and Salt Creek, internally, we just say, hey, I heard this great song, and maybe we'll
just make
play
that
it,
happen.
and we just do it. Yeah, we learn it and so forth. But on the string band, it has to be liked by most of the people in the group. And we're talking about 20. What's the size?
Sometimes 30.
30.
We've had up to 30 people in the
Wow.
string band.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets up and performs themselves. They just like being there playing their instruments with
Okay.
people. But the people who are going to sing the song are usually the ones who bring it in. And if it doesn't suit them, we love the song, but it's not working for your voice. Find something else.
No, we've rejected.
Yeah, we have.
And we've had songs rejected even though they were good songs.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great song. It's not for you. Or there have been songs that were really good songs, but people objected the content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like,
There you go.
okay.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about being in these in the string band and the bluegrass guys? I mean, you've been part of this for a while.
I like to sing.
Okay.
Okay, I started playing guitar probably about the same time you did, when 10 years old.
Okay.
And I can remember having crude plywood a guitar, which I was trying to learn because I'd seen Pete Seeger in concert in Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine,
wow.
where my father happened to teach, and I was inspired.
Okay.
I inspired.
That folk, that kind of rooted in that folk world.
Well, yeah, until of course rock and roll happened, and I spent quite a few years, with electric guitars and rock and roll and that sort of thing, because,
So fun.
it was the age. Yes, that's right.
He's a much better
right.
guitarist than I am.
Now, did you play your whole life? Did you?
I started to play, when I was about 10.
Right.
I grew up in LA. We would drive down to Tijuana and go to all the little booths, and my brother, who has perfect pitch, would try every guitar until he found one that actually worked well, that was made well. And we'd come home with a few guitars for friends and played these little cheap Tijuana guitars for years.
Oh, really?
Until I
Okay.
graduated into actually good guitars, probably in my 20s.
Okay, they moved on. And
Yeah.
So when you guys first heard about this whole village string band and the emeritus classes, what drew you to it at first? Was it just you heard from friends? You heard there's camaraderie around it?
Well, for me, I had joined Sunshine Ludi's performance group that performed at the adult daycare, and when she heard that I yodeled, she said, "You have to join the string band." Okay, because I was very new here. I didn't know anybody, and it was great. It was a great experience, and everybody was friendly, and it was fun. And the thing that I like about the string band, and I tell people who are maybe hesitant because they're not that great a musician, there are people in the string band who are pretty great. They're professional, and there are people in the string band who aren't, probably never will be, or just beginners, and everybody is welcome, and everybody supports and encourages everybody else.
That's true. That's
And Michael,
very
when
true.
you came to it, did you just sign up for the class and not knowing much, or did your friends kind of bring you into it?
I was looking for a group to play with, and it's if you're bored here, right? It's because you're boring.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's your own fault. So I joined a number of clubs, and the music one was a natural for me because I've always been playing and making music.
And like you said, the Feisty Women and bluegrass bands, are they all kind of spin-offs of the Village String Band? People, hey, let's try this out. Let's try this out. And people
Yeah,
want to
I
groups and
think
do their
so.
own little
Well,
sessions.
I'll tell you, the Feisty Women, kind of. I mean, we met a couple of them outside of the string band and brought them into the string band. We started the bluegrass group because Michael was doing a song in the string band and asked a few of us to back him up, and then from that, it's
Yeah,
from that.
some old time classic.
Old-timies?
Yeah.
And we did it, and it sounded great. And we went, we should do some more of this. So we started the band.
And they're fun to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's fun. It's
Well,
fun.
And the audiences show up, most certainly, like you said, for the Feisty Women. You had about 200 folks there, and they're responding to the music, and they're responding to the enjoyment of you guys playing. So, again, it's going to be happy hour with the Feisty Women and Salt Creek Bluegrass Bands. It's going to be Thursday, January 29th, 4:30 p.m. over at Clubhouse 7. Admission is $5, but you get wine, and you get little nibbles, and you get a couple other things like that,
Exactly.
and you get some great music.
Yes.
Be there or be square.
Who's up first? Feisty Women or?
Feisty Women's up first.
Feisty Women's up first. Okay, then you guys can combine a little then.
Oh, we haven't decided. We're thinking about whether or not we're all going to
Solid.
do one song together. We haven't decided.
All right, the plans are still in the works, but the show is going to be great. Everybody
Yes.
get out there. Michael and Sharon, thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
You're absolutely welcome.
You're
Thank
watching
you.
This Day. We'll be right back.
What would it feel like to hear better? Many people are trapped in the isolation of poor hearing and don't realize it. Even people that are wearing other hearing aids. No buttons to push or technology to fear. Artificial intelligence and these products do all the work. Don't settle for less. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's look at our lineup for movies we got on Friday and Saturday, and we got some great ones. A classic, a great dark comedy called Harold and Maude from 1971. It's brought to us by RadNet. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. I remember the first time seeing this movie, and I was like, what is going on? It is a wild ride of a movie and really fun. A young, rich, and obsessed with death Harold finds himself changed forever when he meets lively septuagenarian Maude at a funeral, and the mayhem ensues from there. Then on Saturday, a little more serious tone, The Godfather Part 3. That's brought to us by the folks at Advanced Ear Care. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. This one follows The Godfather, of course, Michael Corleone, now in his 60s as he seeks to free his family from crime and find a suitable successor to his empire. And it doesn't quite work out the way he hopes. Of course, lots of twists and turns in that one. If you've seen that one, you know. If you haven't, it's a good one to watch. All right, folks, let's take a quick check of our weather before we head out. And we got clouds today, and we got a slight chance of rain Thursday. We have a slight chance of rain on Friday. Temperature's going to be in the mid-60s right now. And then Saturday, as we clear out, mostly sunny, 69 degrees, and 70 on Sunday. All right, folks, tomorrow on the program, we're going to be welcoming the folks from United. They're going to give us an update about what's going on in that association. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.